Okay, last time we actually deployed a pod, which is this one, which contains actually all the Jupyter and Python 3.9. However, it's better, instead of deploying a pod, actually deploy a scalable app. So I'm going to walk over that part. So first of all, I'm going to delete this pod. And so this is the pod, and the corresponding app is actually is here. I call it dev app.yaml. So as you can see, it has more basically, I mean, the structure of the YAML file is different. The kind is not pod is deployment. And it has, some stuff here, but I'm deploying the same image as this pod, the same image. However, it says like it can scale up the number of replication. For example, if I put like a 3, it's going to create 3 instances of this pod rather than 1. I'm just going to leave it for, let's call it 2, so you can see that it's going to deploy 2 of them. And basically, but yeah, I mean, the rest is the same, the same mapping and so on. And basically the same volume. So the only difference is actually this part, which we talk about the strategy of, for example, if anything happens on this pod, and it's going to recreate that. So it always try to keep 2 replication of these app. Okay. So so that's pretty much it. I'm just going to run that. So I created here deploy scalable app, and also for this one, I'm going to also deploy the Jupyter service, which the Jupyter service is this. However, I pointing to this dev app. Last time I pointed to that pod and I was not able to make it to work. However, this time it will work. So I'm pointing to dev app, which is the name of this dev app. Okay, and I'm deploying this. Okay, so this is created. Okay, the Jupyter was deployed in the past, so I didn't change it. I'm gonna go back here, run this. So as you can see, it actually created 2 dev apps because I said 2 instances is running, and you can see it's not only the name of it, but also some extension. So because it's going to replicate that. However, we are pointing to the service, not really to this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, in fact, the service is going to do load balance. So sometimes it goes to this, sometimes it goes to the other one. Right now, nothing is running. So I can either, go and deploy and run this one, or I can actually uncomment this part, so it actually runs automatically. So automatically run Jupyter Notebook. So that means I don't need to run it here. So for example, either I can do this, and this is the, basically the token, or I can actually, but of course, when I run this, only this one is running. The other instance is not running. However, I can uncomment this, redeploy it, and okay, so it's going to be redeployed. Yeah, it's going to go down. It's going to take some time because these are going down and coming up. However, this time they are running the Jupyter Notebook inside. Okay, and after that, I should be able to click on that and see that the Jupyter Notebook is running. Yeah, so this message, because I was disconnected from that part. So probably by now it's up. Yeah, they are up, and now the Jupyter is running. So let's click on this. Yep, see, as you can see, this is running. Not only it's running, it's actually pointing to two separate, basically, uh, pods. So it's a load balancing between them. So if one of them goes down, it's always working because the other one is running until both of them again comes up. So you have availability here. So here you should find the token. So to find the token, you right click on this and click on logs and click on run, and you see this is the token. So that means that this, if I use this token, it should work. But also, I already set it up such that you can actually specify the token here and set the password, and then it store it somewhere. Yeah, so I think because I already did that, I already changed that. So you always use a specific token. Let me type that. Okay, I was not able to log in using those tokens. So let me do that. Let me actually make it one, make the instance to one. So at least with one, I know what to do. Okay, I'm gonna redeploy that. So it's gonna go back. So right now we have two running. I'm gonna deploy that. So one of them should go down. Yeah, it's going down. So here, right now there is only one running. So now I can just go to basically yeah, to logs, and let's make sure this is the same. Okay, so this is the logs. So that means that this, because now the service only point to this one because there's no two. So this one should work, meaning that should be able to just copy that and paste it here. Yeah, and it works. Okay, so this one works. However, I can log out, and then if I just point to this, you see that here I can actually paste the same token. So I'm pasting this token. The token is actually here. And I'm setting my password. So for example, here I'm gonna set like a Jupyter notebook password. Okay, so it's Jupyter notebook. Let's just do it all in one word because we are going to reuse that. Jupyter notebook password. Okay, and login. Okay, so now it's logged in. Okay, and now if I go back here, this is inside this. I'm just going to do it again. I'm going inside this pod. Okay, and if I go to home, so this is home, and if I ls minus le, you'll see that it actually created this folder, and inside there is this configuration, which this is the hash of that password that I typed. So it was Jupyter notebook password all in one word. Okay, the problem is that because this is not really residing on host, if I restart this will be gone. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this entire, let's say, Jupyter copy -r.jupyter, and I'm going to put it in a workspace because workspace reside in my host. Okay, so now if I restart this, let me restart it. If I delete it, it will automatically restart. So I no longer have .jupyter, but I have this workspace.jupyter. So I can always point to that. So I'm just gonna refresh that. Yeah, so you can see the name is changed. If I go to terminal, okay, and go to a cd ls minus la. See, there is no .jupyter. It's gone because it automatically restarted, and that was not persistent. However, in workspace, I have .jupyter because workspace is actually mapped to my host. So I have minus LA. Yeah, I have here .jupyter. Okay, so for me to be able to reuse this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically, I can go to my DevApps and create a volume, which actually volume mount, which points to so I'm just going to say .jupyter, which points to basically this is a workspace. There is a subpath. I can specify subpath, and the subpath would be .jupyter. Okay, so that means that now if I redeploy this, then I will have .jupyter, and it has the one that I already typed. Okay, so I'm just gonna enter that. Okay, it's going to go down. And then now that it's actually reusing .jupyter, that means that I can use the same password. I can actually create multiple copies, and it should work because all of these copies using the same password. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. Okay, so it's up. Okay, and now if I log into that, it should have .jupyter, which it does, and inside has the same file that I created. So now if I go back to here, go to this. Okay, so now as you can see, it didn't bring me the rest because it knows that it's already configured with the specific password. The password was Jupyter notebook password. Oops. Jupyter notebook password. Okay, I guess I mistyped something, but anyway, this should work even if we have more than one, basically more than one instance. So let me find out what's the password is that, and then come back. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, the password I mistyped it, but now it's working. You can see I can log in. Okay, and I'm gonna basically now create a multiple copy of that and see if it's running. So in stuff 2, I put 4. So because right now I added these Jupyter, all of them should have the same one. Okay, so let me do that, deploy it. So you should see 4 of them coming up. Yeah, all 4 is up. And now if I go back to here, go back to this one. Okay, so log back in. And the same password works for all of them. Right now it's all of them is running. So even if I delete 3 of them, it works fine.